We have another special guest, and I'm looking for her. Julie Standifer, where are you? Can you stand, please? Let me tell you a little bit about Julie and why she's here tonight. Julie received her bachelor's degree in nursing from Millikin in 1984, then went on to the University of Illinois to complete her master's degree in adult health nursing. She is currently the clinical coordinator in education and support specialist at eHealth Data Solutions. Julie is being honored tomorrow at the School of Nursing brunch held at 9 a.m. in Lady Tabor Science Center. You're welcome to participate in their program. Julie, on behalf of the Alumni Association, we wanted to offer our congratulations to you. So how about a round of applause for Julie today? As we continue with our ceremony, with the Alumni Awards portion of it, I would like to acknowledge any alumni who are in the audience tonight who have received an Alumni Award in the past. If you're here, could you please stand? There we go. I'm surrounded by royalty, I believe. Right now, joining on stage with President White will be Stacy Ortwig Wood, class of 97 and president of the Millikin University Alumni Association. Stacy will be presenting our 2014 Alumni Awards.
The Alumni Award recipients are selected by the Alumni Association Executive Board based on specific criteria outlined for each award. It is my pleasure as the president of the Board of Directors of the Millikin University Alumni Association to present our Alumni Award honorees to President White. These accomplished individuals have made Millikin proud, and while I give a few highlights of each of the honorees, I hope you take the time to learn a lot more about their achievements highlighted in tonight's printed programs. Would Nikki Smyth Whitcomb, class of 1966, please come forward? Nikki is being recognized tonight as the 2014 Alumni Merit Loyalty Award for her achievements as a fundraising professional and in recognition of her loyalty and service to Millikin. Recently named the first executive director of the American Writers Museum, Nikki is also a founder and owner of a successful fundraising consulting firm. She is the first female president of the Chicago chapter of the Association of Fundraising Professionals and a sought-after trainer and presenter at fundraising conferences nationwide. Nikki is a faithful and generous supporter of her alma mater, a charter member of the Millikin Investors Society, and has served as her class agent for fundraising and homecoming reunion chair. President White, the Merit Loyalty Award recognizes those individuals who have demonstrated great loyalty to Millikin and who have distinguished themselves in their profession. Therefore, it is my honor to present Nikki Whitcomb, a distinguished honoree for the 2014 Alumni Merit Loyalty Award.
I have to put the cheaters on for this. You've already heard some of these comments by other people, but the first thing I want to say is I love this place. From the first time my parents brought me on a tour of Millikin in 1961, the beauty of this campus struck a chord that still affects me today. The red brick buildings that are like no other, the impossibly blue skies, the stately trees. This is simply a lovely place. I auditioned for Roger Miller, who was then the dean of the School of Music. I stood on the stage at Kuiper Hall, full of hopes and dreams, but not at all sure what the future would hold and whether that future would be in music or something else. The future I faced at 21 has been way better than what I thought it was going to be. Thanks to Millikin, I sang in the choir all 4 years. I shared the role of Lady Larkin in Once Upon a Mattress. I was song leader at freshman camp, the lead singer with the jazz band, edited what was then the weekly Decaturian. College kids today, you have no idea. We didn't have computers then, so it was hot typeset. Oh my goodness. I joined a great sorority, Delta Delta Delta, whose friendships today continue stronger than ever 50 years after they began. All those experiences generated valuable lessons and opportunities that have impacted my entire life. At Millikin, I learned how to think, how and why to ask questions that would lead to the information I needed, how to engage others and inspire them to action, how to present to groups of all shapes and sizes. Millikin gave me the confidence and the skills to face the world. I've been a professional fundraiser for more than 40 years. My first job was for United Cerebral Palsy in Springfield, and in those days you could safely go to door and ask for people to contribute. And tag days were also part of what you did. Our fundraising was successful, and I thought, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So people out there who didn't know when you graduated from school, it all works out. Shortly thereafter, my friend and fellow Millikinite, Phil Zini, who's going to be coming back from Germany in February to live in the United States again, he's in Hamburg right now, recruited me to do public information work for the state of Illinois. A slight detour from fundraising, but another chance for growth. Another time for learning life lessons. I remember being told to use the facsimile machine, remember those? In the governor's office to send something to Chicago. When I said I didn't know how to use that, Ogilvy's press secretary, Fred Bird, said, "You should learn how to do every single thing you can. You never know when you'll be the only person who knows how to do that thing, and it will make you invaluable." Still great advice after all these years. I moved to Chicago in 1973. That was a leap of faith. My belief that the foundations I'd built and the connections that I had made would secure my future. It worked. I led another nonprofit to 500% growth in 4 years, then was hired as the first ever development person for a local hospital. I joined the local chapter of the Fundraising Society. At that time, there were only 10% females in the profession, and chaired that group's membership committee, an assignment that led to my election as our chapter's first female president. When it came time to chair my first board meeting of the Fundraising Society, an older male colleague who had mentored me and championed my election pulled me aside and said, "Now, honey, don't you mess this up. There are a lot of men who didn't want a female president. You just show them why you're the right choice and don't make it hard for other women down the road." Some things never change. Starting my own fundraising consulting business was a direct result of that election. My decision to start my own business was made possible in large measure by my late husband, Jamie McKechnie. Who supported me with love and encouragement. Throughout this time, Millikin continued to play a major role in my life. Bill Eichenauer called me one day in 1995 and said, "You need to meet our new president, Kurt McRae, and talk to him about fundraising." Kurt called a day or so later, and there's a funny story that the women in the room will totally get. I was in a casual day in the office, so I was in jeans and a sweatshirt, and the president of the university is going to stop in the office. So fortunately, I only lived a half a mile away, so I went home and changed clothes. So, men, you can just keep a sport coat on the back of the door and you're fine. Well, the ladies, we have to do it a little differently. So anyway, it worked. Kurt called a day or so later to discuss Millikin's 100th anniversary and the fundraising opportunities that included. I was hired to test the waters, then plan and implement the Advancing the Vision campaign. That campaign generated $125 million, more than 6 times what any previous campaign for Millikin had done. It worked because the research and planning were sound and because dedicated volunteers like Larry Hobb, Clarence and Adele Glenn, Bill Eichenauer, Ed Backrack, Bryden Carnahan, and a terrific staff led by Peg Louie lent their experience and passion to this school. It also worked because, based on what I learned from alumni and friends during the planning stage, we created a campaign that capitalized on 2 of Millikin's core academic strengths, the School of Music and the Science program. It also worked because of the giving back so many of us did in appreciation of the scholarship funds that literally made a Millikin education possible for so many of us. There are not a lot of friends or folks who I can count as 50-year friends. Many who are people I met at Millikin University. One of my friends says, "You can have friends for a reason, friends for a season, and friends for a lifetime. Lifetime friends, many of whom are in this room tonight, are the ones I hold closest to my heart. I treasure this place and the people who make it what it is. That is one reason I am a supporter of the university and have been part of the Investors Society since its inception. Millikin, the education and experience it provided, the people who make it so special, has given me far more than I can ever acknowledge. I am deeply grateful to be named the Merit Loyalty Award recipient for this year. Thank you so much.